Thank you for staying with us. We'll start with this Africa's premier automotive showcase. The Festival of Motoring is revving up to welcome thousands of visitors when it opens to the public from tomorrow to Sunday at the iconic Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. With over 30 years experience in the motoring world, show director Judy Maharaj has been a trailblazer in the space and an ignorable figure for women in sport. Now in its 8th edition, the festival remains the continent's most immersive motoring celebration, bringing together over 100 exhibitors and 22 leading automotive brands for a high-octane weekend. Well, tonight, we are joined by the brains behind the event, Judy Maharaj, who I'm sure will share with us how she was able to find a seat at the motorsport table that is dominated by men. Good evening, Judy. Happy Women's Month. And what is your 30-year secret?
Oh, thank you, Khotso. Thank you for having me. Good evening to all our listeners and viewers. So yes, 30 years in the sport. Started at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit as a race secretary, a motorsport race secretary. And it evolved into national motorsport events. And eventually I joined the Messe Frankfurt group, who is the organizer of the Festival of Motoring. And the show is in its 8th edition, ready to kick off tomorrow. So I have a long history in motorsport. It is tough. I had to fight for my seat at the table. Now we are changing things around. You'll see a few of us gals in the space, and just living out our passion, but especially we bring a different kind of excellence. Let me say that, definitely.
And I mean, how difficult or easy was it to break down those barriers to entry? One, you're a woman, two, a woman of color.
It was very difficult, very difficult. I recall sitting in rooms where, when when questions were asked, nobody even bothered to hear your opinion, but you were asked to go quickly. Can you arrange the coffee? So you knew that, you're going to amount to something one day, but delivery speaks louder than any words. And it was delivery. I had to work extra hard. That's a fact. And I had to be so creative and fight for my creativity in the space as well. And it's worked out. It's worked out because you're known for delivery. And that's what I know that I can. This is my jam. I know what to do when it comes to putting on a festival. Yes.
And I mean, 30 years down the line, would you feel that the space is created to have voices for women in the sport?
Definitely. When I started out, I saw very few female drivers. I remember Claire Vale, for example. She was one of the first female racing drivers I saw on the track. But now it's definitely grown. At Festival, we will feature a few women drivers, Paige Lindenberg. We also have the 2 women, which it will be lovely. They will be launched this weekend also at Festival. They have been racing for a while. The MSA 4 women in a Formula type car. So the sport, it's definitely grown for women. And we can drive fast. So there's a space for us.
And I mean, you have a special relationship with Kyalami on its own, and you guys being able to have this festival at Kyalami, which is now approved for F1. Just give us, is it a bit of a nostalgic feeling for you?
Definitely. I started my career at the Kyalami circuit back in '94. I spent many years there with many sponsors, partners, and then I became the general manager of the circuit, and I had so many international events that first, made its debut in South Africa. I was part of it. For many years, I was also part of the Superbike racing team, and now it's, the track. I know the track. I know the areas. I know how I can cut up the spaces and what can be done. So that's definitely an advantage.
And just break it down in layman's terms, what this festival really entails when you talk about a moto festival.
Yes, so the Festival of Motoring is not just a static motor show. we are all about immersive experiences. We have 3 types of experience for the visitor, where you get to go into one of your brands of your choice. We have 22 brands, or you can try all the brands, and you get to go around the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit in a passenger vehicle or in a high-performance car. Then we have a self-handling track where you actually get to sit in the car and you drive the car around a self-handling track. And then you get to go into a 4x4 with a trained instructor on an obstacle course. So there's plenty other immersive experiences. We have an urban track, and we have a lot of gaming, simulation, entertainment. This year we have a mini carnival, a Ferris wheel. So it's all about the experience for the sector. And we unite all facets of the sector, from the importers, manufacturers, to the consumer.
And there's been a lot of chat about having F1 back in South Africa. Kyalami has been seen as one of those venues. What's your take on it?
It's definitely, Kyalami is a beautiful circuit. It's ready, it's waiting, and Formula One comes here. It will be awesome. I mean, just for the tourism alone, we always speak about that. It will be a highlight for us, and we're ready. We know we can pull it off. So let's see.
But for some of us who are at home, who don't understand what goes on behind the scenes of bringing such a huge event like a F1 to the country, what would that do to South Africa and the GDP?
Yeah, so when I can work from the basis of how we put on festival of motoring. I mean, Formula One is like 10 times or 20 times more than that. But the suppliers, what we have to do in terms of logistics, freight, courier, the VAT story alone, there's so many, there is so many aspects to it that's a positive. There's a positive outcome. But putting on the show, the background, the work, it's intensive. And that we can do for definite. But it's a lot of logistics, and we have to get it right.
Yeah, earlier on I touched on how, this space is seen as a man's world. We haven't seen that many Formula One women drivers or drivers at the highest elite level where we have women. Is there conversations happening in terms of making it more freely accessible to girls and women alike?
Yes, there's a Formula One women's group. I think Susie Wolf heads that up, and there's definitely a drive for that. And we just have to keep our eyes open. I would encourage everyone to even join those Instagram groups, because there's lots of news coming out of there.
And just for tomorrow, for instance, is there space for people to kind of test drive things, or is it just a show and tell?
No, as I explained, you definitely get to test the cars. There's 22 brands on board. You get to test them at the Kyalami circuit. You get to go around the circuit with a trained instructor, accredited driving instructors of this country, and you get to sit in a car at the self-handling track. So there's a few experiences that the visitor can expect, and that's what with a general access ticket, all rides are complimentary, all the experiences are complimentary, except for there's some supercar rides that there's an extra cost for that.
Well, Judy Maharaj coming straight from her home, and she's the brains behind this motoring festival that will be happening at the Kyalami racecourse. That, of course, starts tomorrow.